What's going on, guys? Brent0331. Appreciate you guys tuning in. So I got a big training announcement, and that is over the MLK weekend, I'll be going up to Missouri to train with a company called S&S. Now, I've never trained with S&S before. However, I have trained with some of the guys that run S&S. One of the guys in particular, Cole Salmons, he's a green hat instructor with the One Shepherd Leadership Institute, and he's just a solid guy. Former Army infantry veteran, and really knows his stuff. I trained with him at One Shepherd a couple years ago. Just a great dude, and I know S&S has come up and done some joint FTXs with the One Shepherd Leadership Institute. And so I really look forward to this, guys. They're putting on a extreme cold weather training package, all right? They're calling it Winter Forge. They did one last year. It was very successful. As you can see with some of these pictures I'm showing you guys, they're training in an extreme cold weather environment. So I think they told me last year it was -15, so 15 degrees below zero, and it snowed on the first day, and the second 2 days it did not snow. But nonetheless, it was extreme cold weather environment, guys. And it's just something you need to know how to operate in. And it's not for the faint of heart, all right? It's nothing makes guys go internal more than cold weather and you know, being wet. And there's probably a combination of both in this training package. So it's definitely for pipe hitters. But I can't say this enough, like you need to be, in order to be a full spectrum warrior, you need to be able to fight in these type of conditions. You know, combat isn't always 70 degrees and sunny outside, okay? If you watch videos from over in the Ukraine over the last few years, is fighting over there, these guys are fighting in extreme cold weather environments, and you know, that's just second nature to them, all right? You need to be able to do that as well. You never know when foreign enemy paratroopers are gonna be falling out of the skies, and you got to take up into the Colorado mountains and form a little guerrilla group. So, you know, you just got to have this type of training. At least that's my recommendation, guys. So that's why I'm going up there. I look forward to it greatly. The very first day, it's a 3-day training event. They spend the first day teaching you how to operate in that cold weather environment. You know, type of clothing to wear, the type of gear to carry, things of that nature. Then they also teach how to establish a patrol base in a cold weather environment. Just some field considerations for operating in an extreme cold weather environment. And then the second 2 days, guys, is actual field training exercise, an FTX for 48 hours, force on force, utilizing Miles gear. Now, Miles gear is a phenomenal system in terms of force on force. It attaches to real weapons, so you're shooting blanks, you're emitting lasers that mimic the ballistics of a real, like 5.56 rifle. You can have real combat engagement ranges. Is it a perfect system? No, it's not. However, it's, in my opinion, it's the best possible force on force system for actual real combat engagement ranges. You know, airsoft and sims, that's all great. That's great for CQB and essentially CQB only. You're not going to have real combat engagement ranges. You're not going to have firefights at 300 to 500 meters with airsoft guns. You know, as fun as they are, they're not, you know, it's not realistic training in that aspect. So I highly look forward to this, guys. A couple things about this training course, though. It is a prerequisite. If you look at their website, they have a course curriculum. This is kind of like an elective course. Like, you have to have one of several elective courses to pertains to their curriculum. And essentially, you have to have experience with the Miles gear prior to this. What I mean by that is, like, if you've gone to a One Shepherd semester, you know how to use the Miles gear. That obviously meets that prerequisite. If you have military experience where you've used Miles gear in the military and you know how to use it, I would email them and see if that meets their prerequisite or not. I don't know for sure. I'm not an instructor up there. I'm not cadre with them, so I don't know. But you're expected to know how to use that Miles gear already coming into this. So that is one thing I want to tell you for anybody that's interested in doing this. If you are interested in attending this training and you've never experienced extreme cold weather temperatures before, you know, and operating in them, like, you have to have specific gear, guys. You can't go up there with freaking BDUs and jungle boots. Like, it ain't gonna work. All right, you got to have Gore-Tex boots. You got to have Gore-Tex, all the layers, the base layers, full sleep system. You have to have a ruck, you know, that can carry all this stuff. You can't pack light and freeze at night in a cold weather warfare environment. I mean, it just doesn't work. You're gonna die. So you got to have the right gear. And luckily, if you ever go to Army Navy stores or go on eBay, a lot of that stuff's really cheap, guys. I just got some intermediate cold weather boots with liners and everything for less than 50 bucks on eBay. You know, a big score. You know, fleeces and stuff like that, you know, base layers, all that stuff is relatively pretty damn cheap if you know where to look for it. So Nonetheless, guys, I highly look forward to this training. As much as it's going to suck being in that extreme cold weather environment, minus 15 degrees, I very much look forward to it, guys. And again, if you're going to be a full spectrum warrior, you need to know how to operate in these type of environments because they exist. It ain't going to be 70 degrees and sunny every time. So appreciate you guys tuning in. If you got any comments, post them below. I'll do my best to reply to you. And I'll also put the link to the SNS training website in the description box. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment.